Listen, thanks for taking a few minutes. I came from Chicago today because I thought this situation, when it was presented to me, was very important about talking about the impact of university school to me, my family, my mom and dad. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of talk about, one's trajectory in life and how university school kind of changed my life. First of all, before we start, thank God the Packers won yesterday because I was up all night. And then I worked out for an hour because I realized after the game was over I ate a bag of potato chips. And so if it appears I look a little bloated, that camera adds about 20 pounds. So, you might want to slim me down a little bit there. But I didn't really have anything too prepared, but I just wanted to spend a couple minutes because that's what you all asked me to do is, I went to university school for only 1 year. And I was on a trajectory, I believe, in my life that was on a negative trajectory. It had nothing to do with the institution that I was at or where I was at in my life. I just wasn't grasping what education meant to me and the importance of it. And the irony of it is my dad was the head of the economics department at the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. So clearly, as the minister's son, I was a disappointment. And at one point he looked at me and he said, "Son, where are we going with all this? I mean, what are you doing? You're just wasting your life." And he was a man who literally, first generation Korean, really struggled to come here, didn't have any money in his pocket. And he says, "I'm going to take you to a few schools and I want you to get something out of your education." And we fell upon and were lucky enough to fall upon a school called University School of Milwaukee. I came here for that one summer in I was a graduate of '81, so came in my junior year, and university school didn't just accept me. They wanted to say, are you worth it? And for the first time, I really worked for it. I really wanted it. Came in my senior year, and I can tell you to the T, and it's so refreshing to just even come back here 20, 30 years later. Everybody that I meet from university school, they're committed parents. The kids are great. I mean, that level of culture is something that even living in Chicago for the last 30 years, I've never experienced in my life. If I meet kids from university school all around the world, I'll say I trust you implicitly and explicitly because I know you're intelligent and I know you came from a good family and I know you have values. That says a lot about an organization. So, in brief, I was at this trajectory point in my life. And like a train track that kind of goes a little off or a little below or a little above, university school changed the trajectory of my life. And I became, I think, a second or first honor student, really grasped what education meant, really grasped what the culture meant, and then, went and, did my thing and then, proceeded to have a career. And in fact, even in my career of the last 30 years, everything I do revolves around this culture that was really built from what I learned from university school. So when the opportunity came for this campaign and all these lovely things, I jumped at the opportunity because for me, it was an opportunity to re-engage with something that I thought was really important to me. If it was just the school itself, I probably wouldn't have given the funds, to be candid with you. But when you meet people, parents who are so concerned about their children and their well-being, children who are going to go off and do something significant in their lives, parents who are successful or struggling or whatever the case may be. University school is one of the most unique environments to create a better lifestyle. And I'm telling you, it made an indelible mark in my life. And every time I get an opportunity to speak here, I do it because I'm very passionate about it and I feel very strongly about it. So yes, we donated the Lee Community Room and very proud of it. My wife and my children are excited, my mom and dad were there, about the impact it's having on university school. But forget the Lee Room and all that stuff. I really don't really care about that stuff. If it's changing the lives and the trajectory of children that are walking through these front doors, and they're getting excited about their future, whatever that future is, and especially we're in a world today where everything is a platitude, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You've got very charged political situations, so on and so forth. But we can tone that rhetoric down a little bit and get our kids into an educated position to make better decisions, ask better questions, and this creates that kind of environment. I'll tell you, I wish I made more money so I could give more because because I'm really concerned about the trajectory of the country overall as far as, the things that I'm hearing. And that has nothing to do with economic policy or whatever. It's just, it seems like, the level of education seems to be deteriorating. So, in a small way, I am attempting to kind of put my stake in the ground and tell what's important to me. It just so happens that university school was the beginning, or what I call the genesis point of that change. So I know this is about giving, and I know this is about checks and stuff like that. So obviously, if you can give more, please do. I always tell my kids, if you're not giving unless it hurts, and this one hurt. So so I definitely gave something that hurt, but. So you got to put your money where your mouth is. But in all seriousness, I appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of you. I hope you got something out of this. And more importantly, from your backgrounds and whatever you're doing with your children, I want to thank every single one of the staff and the institution, because if this institution didn't exist, I don't know where I'd be today. I really don't. I'm not saying I'd been a drug addict or something, nefarious like that. But I don't know if I'd be so focused in life and so clear in what the objectives are, and combine that with the love of my parents and the support of them, because my brother came here and graduated with high honors. I just don't know where we would be today. And so I'm just very thankful that an institution like University School exists. And I'll close with this. We lived in Chicago. We live in a nice, affluent neighborhood. And when it was time for our children to go to school, my wife and I, we really tried to think in terms of how can we get our kids to university school. And we just couldn't make it happen. And today, with some regret, I regret that, because I just think about what they would be coming out with their experience. The kids, all of you have kids who go to school here, have gone to school here. You're all so bright, you're all so intelligent, it's just different, and I can't explain it. And maybe it's a bit of Wisconsin, maybe it's a bit of the institution, maybe, but for what it's worth, I just really feel this institution is really, really, really special. So with that, I'll close, and I wanted to thank you for your time, and if you can give till it hurts. Talk to you soon.